Hi, I'm Sam.
And I'm Samri.
Welcome to the Chopsticks and Fork Please podcast.
So we just came back from
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
So yeah, it was a fun trip. It wasn't a honeymoon or a anniversary or anything. We just kind of...
People kept asking though.
Yeah, people kept asking.
Yeah.
We were just like, oh, it's just a trip, I guess.
Yeah.
It was mostly on a whim, I think, right? Like, I think...
We planned it earlier though.
We did plan it early. We planned it around like middle of the year, I think. We had like 4 months, like ahead, So it was one of the things like, oh yeah, we planned this, but we never, it was like, we didn't actually think about it until like it actually happened.
So apparently there's direct flights from Seattle
to Hawaii, but I didn't see any.
Yeah.
So,
But apparently it depends on the time.
Yeah, it depends on the time of the year. I guess November is an off season. So like not as many flights. Because usually the season is like summer and like spring, I suppose. Less so like winter. And it's not like we went during like a major vacation period. We actually went like before like the Thanksgiving break because like I felt like when I was thinking of like when to do it, I thought we should avoid like major holidays or breaks or anything like that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to be so crowded and like stuff.
And the price.
And even then, like Hawaii was still crowded.
Yeah.
It was still a lot of people.
It was our first time. It was both of our first time. So
yeah, but I assume that it's like even worse during the summer.
Yeah, when it's hotter.
Yeah, when it's warmer. Though I think going there during the winter is actually nice because it's warm. It's still warm in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Like it's like comfortable warm. It's like 80 degrees.
It was raining a bit.
It rained a little bit
near the end.
Yeah, but that wasn't too bad. That's nothing compared to Seattle rain.
Yeah.
Like the rain was just like little spurts, like cute spurts. Like, oh, I'm gonna drizzle for a little bit and then disappear.
Yeah. So we were there for 6 nights?
Yeah, 7, yeah.
6 nights?
6 days, 7 nights, I think.
Let me bring my phone because
Okay.
I wrote down everything we did on it.
All right.
But before we talk about what we did in Hawaii during my trip in SeaTac airport, there was this older black man.
Oh yeah, I remember that. So what happened? We're in TSA, and I was putting my stuff down, like stuff in the bins, and Samri, you like kind of push, like you saw that I had finished my electronics, and you like pushed it forward, and the guy was like, "Hey, are you with him? Or is she with you?" Like,
yeah. He was like, "Whoa, is she with you?" Like,
yeah,
he was
I
like,
think he assumed that like we weren't together.
Yeah.
And because of that, he thought she was like a stranger just pushing my stuff aside. That was
like a stranger, specifically black woman.
Yeah, a stranger. And I was like, no, we're married. And he's like, oh, okay. And he had to he backed off there. But yeah, it's kind of like one of those things where like I had to, when me and Samri are together, I have to specifically like hold her hand a lot, not to like make sure she doesn't get lost or anything, but to like show other people that yes, we are in fact together, because a lot of people don't assume we're together. I think I had a moment where I was in an Uber during the trip, and I had gone snorkeling and I had gone alone because Samri doesn't know how to swim, so I just I went alone, and I think I was talking to the Uber driver about it. And the Uber driver asked if my wife, because I usually don't mention too much, so I just say like, oh, my wife didn't want to come, and she assumed that like, oh, is your wife Japanese? I was like, no, she's black.
There's a lot of Japanese folks in Hawaii.
Yeah, but like everyone is usually like surprised to hear that I married a black woman. Right, it comes as like a shock, right?
Yeah.
Or not like, it's not like, oh my god, really? It's more like, oh, huh. Like, like they did, it's like, it's like, oh, they didn't expect that. It's like outside of like expectations.
Because I found out Sam told me like during our trip of why he holds my hand.
Yeah, I just mentioned that story.
Oh, okay.
I just mentioned that story.
Cause I like whenever we're out, he's like, you can't see me, but like,
yeah,
he would like move his
my
hand close.
Out. Yeah, like here, hold it. Like hold it.
I do get lost easily.
Yeah, that too.
But yeah, I was like, oh, okay, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, but I do that like in general a lot when we go out because I know that there are people out there who don't who assume that we're not together.
Yeah, even though we're like walking next to each other.
Yeah. And I'm not like a person that really shows a lot of like public affection too much, really. Just like not like in private I'm very affectionate. But public I tend not to like show that much affection. So I have to do the hand holding thing to be like, yes, we are in fact like together, not just friends. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So that part was new.
But yeah, flight to San Francisco, and then
San Francisco was nice.
I mean, we didn't really see too much of it.
Yeah, but like I appreciated the demographics there.
Yeah.
Like, well, I don't know what the TSA agents are like in San Francisco.
Yeah, because we didn't go through TSA or anything like that.
Yeah.
So.
But, anyways.
Yeah. I didn't notice anything too special
about it. It was mostly white and Asian.
Yeah.
East Asian. In San Francisco.
Yeah.
So, because it's a rich city.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Sunday night was our arrival to the island of Oahu.
Yeah.
And then
I had leased a convertible because for some reason it was like a lot cheaper than like the other cars.
A regular compact car?
Like a regular compact car, yeah. So I chose the convertible, and plus I was like, oh hey, yeah, the convertible will be cool, and just we can put our like suitcase in the back, and it should fit our suitcases. It barely didn't fit Samri's suitcase. Like
I got a huge suitcase.
Yeah.
I bought it like
I underestimated her suitcase.
Or how much I packed.
Yeah, and how much you packed too.
Yeah.
So like it didn't fit the trunk.
Yeah.
And I had somehow fit it inside the trunk. I have a good skill.
It like perfectly fitted though. Like there's no room for your hands to go in and like pick it up and like it just like slides in perfectly. But when coming out, you have to like kind of depress it.
Yeah.
Compress it more and then take it out.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the luggage is like, it's kind of like, how would you describe it? It's not a fabric. Yeah. It's plastic. It's a plastic like case.
Yeah.
That keeps everything like
protected
from breaking. Yeah. It's like a big box.
So yeah, we had to take it out and then like pop the hood down.
Yeah, a guy who works there was like looking at me.
We were both struggling.
And he came up to me.
Yeah.
Because I went into the driver's side because I'm like, okay, let me drive.
Yeah.
Because you seem pretty stressed.
Yeah.
Like you were.
It was a long flight.
Yeah.
I'm like tired. I want to sleep.
Yeah, and oh my goodness. I thought, because you told me that the flight from San Francisco to Hawaii was like 9 or 8 hours.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they're going to give us a meal because like if it's that long, then there's a meal, but there was no meal.
Yeah.
So I was like starving.
Yeah.
But in any case, sorry. Go
on. Because like I had eaten in that morning I had eaten a lot. Like I ate like a bowl of soup and a burger and fries.
Oh yeah.
So that would sustain me for like the entire day.
Oh yeah.
Like you ate like one bowl of soup, not even the one bowl of soup.
Yeah, like because I think they had, I don't know.
They did not add bacon to it, babe.
Or some kind of meat.
It was not meat. That was all clams.
Because clams, do they taste? Well, I guess I don't know what they look like.
Yeah, they taste very like that was all clams.
It tasted like chicken to me.
I ate that and I'm like, this is all clams. I know what chicken tastes like.
I guess I forgot what it tastes like.
Yeah, but I was like, babe, it's the thing. But yeah, like.
Yeah, I didn't eat much, but.
Yeah. Because I was like completely full. I was stuffed.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always good to bring an empty bottle for water.
Yeah.
You can fill it with like filtered water in the airport once you get past TSA. And then, before I forget, I wanted to mention, if you have locks, like dreadlocks, then TSA will always want to like give you a head massage, complimentary head massage. Like when I was coming back in the Hawaiian airport in Oahu, like a big like Hawaiian woman TSA agent, like she squeezed my head together.
Oh jeez.
Like I'm like, and then she spent time massaging my head.
And it's not like you have like big locks or anything like that. No. Your locks are quite small. Your locks are quite skinny. And small.
I was like, oh, okay, let me prepare my hair to be, like massaged. So I removed my hair tie. Yeah. And they're like, oh, go through the thing again, the scanner. Yeah. They made me go through it again.
Oh, jeez.
Just because I removed the hair tie. And then she like rubbed my back multiple times.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck? I saw that happening. I was
the
like,
massage is complete at this point.
Did they detect like some because like I looked at the screen, it scanned something on like your back or something like that, which is why I think that was why they were checking. But I was like, what's
really?
That? Yeah, I was like, what's that? I don't know what that is. Huh. Yeah, I was like, you don't have like a metal back or anything like that. So
no.
Yeah, so I was like, I looked at that screen and saw like there was like a mapping where it showed certain things, and that's why they rubbed your back.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah, so I was like, what was that? I have no idea what that is.
Maybe because they can see, they do an x-ray. Yeah. And they saw my twisted spine.
It's not an x-ray. It's a heat map, which is different. It uses infrared versus ultrasound. Oh. Different wavelengths do different things to your body. If it was an x-ray, that's way too lethal. The workers more so than the thing, and everyone would have to like back off and like do that. Like x-rays are like when you go to an x-ray, they like tell you like, okay, stay here, and they put like a big giant lead apron on you, right?
Oh yeah.
And then they like leave the room because too much exposure to ultrasound like x-rays is harmful and cancerous. So you can't do that in like a TSA thing.
So they saw something in my back from the heat?
Weird. Yeah, maybe it was like from a heat, like hot spot. I think it probably might have been a hot spot or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my back is still in pain, so that might be why.
But yeah.
In any case.
Flights. We fly economy. We fly economy, so it sucks.
TSA always sucks. Like, oh my gosh. Like, they make you go through. It's like a military, training drill kind of.
It's very dehumanizing.
Like, do this, blah blah blah. Like they're screaming at you.
Yeah, I will say that Seattle's TSA is like no chill, and like
Hawaii was. I mean, it was more chill.
It was more chill, but still less. But it felt more chill in comparison to Seattle. But yeah, like we did it. We got through that. Somehow your belt went missing. Yeah.
Oh, I ordered new belts.
Okay.
It's called Ratchet. Yeah. Ratchet men's belt.
Okay.
They don't make one for women.
But yeah, like her belt went missing, which kind of sucked. It was like, oh.
Yeah, my pants were kind of sliding down.
Yeah.
Sorry. Let's start again from the beginning of the trip. So we got there Sunday night. So we didn't get the typical daytime. And then the dancing. I think there were dancers. Yeah. And then the ones who give you that thingy. The lei. With the flower lei. Mm-hmm. And then and then I drove to the hotel, and it was so windy because we couldn't put we had to
keep the hood down because of the suitcases.
Yeah, it wouldn't fit otherwise.
Yeah. I always feel like every time I go to a hotel, every time we go to a hotel and we check in, I look tired as hell. To all whatever employees, I just look like a dead tired person, and I'm just please just give us our rooms.
So Monday we walked on Waikiki Beach.
Yep.
And then
We
went to an art store.
Yeah, we went to a mall.
Oh,
That
yeah.
mall has a nice aesthetic though, all things considering. Like
Okay.
it has like it has a tree inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a real like tree and stuff like that.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's really cool.
I've noticed the architecture in Hawaii like allows for trees to be planted inside the structure.
Yeah, because they like that mall was like open, it was like
Yeah.
an open air mall. Like a lot of the places, like our hotel was like
Yeah.
the way it was set up. It was like an open air like thing where like
Yeah.
I mean our hotel rooms were closed, right? But like the main lobby and stuff was all open air.
Yeah. I think it adds to like the magical like so you can feel the air instead
Yeah,
of
feel the
everything
air.
being AC'd.
Yeah, it was cool, and it was nice being like the temperature was in the 80s, so if you just wore shorts and t-shirt,
Yeah.
it just felt like very comfortable. Heck, like it's Hawaii, so you can get away if you're confident enough. You can just get away, just if you're a guy, just taking off a shirt and just like going just without a shirt on.
Yeah.
No one's gonna bat an eye.
That's true. And I didn't pack proper stuff
Yeah.
because I'm used to the coldness here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was telling you, it's like, babe, it's gonna be really warm there.
Like I didn't have enough.
Summer clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had to buy some from ABC store.
Yeah.
And you also got shirts.
I got Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah.
I will happily admit that I unironically love Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I'm not gonna buy a Hawaiian shirt. That's lame. And I wore one. I was like, actually, this is kind of nice. Oh, this actually looks pretty good on me.
You were picking like the really like loud, colorful ones too. I was like,
Yeah.
how about this one? You got a fountain pen, and then we got clothes, and then we went to the international market where there was a Japanese store.
Yeah, there were a lot of different stores. We didn't go, but they had a Mitsuya. It was just like a Japanese grocery store, pretty much, and that's where we got a lot of like rice balls and stuff like that.
Yeah,
We would
affordable food.
Yeah, we would just get like Hawaii. A lot of places in Hawaii are like tourist trappy, so everything's kind of really expensive.
It is.
Especially a lot of the
overpriced.
food. But like one thing you can do is you can just go to a convenience store, get some musubi or get some rice balls and just eat that. And it'll just fill you up.
Yeah, and they had like regular stuff. And even some ABC stores.
Yeah, ABC stores also had a convenience store section. They had sandwiches, stuff
Yeah.
like that. I'm more of a fan of rice balls and
Okay.
rice balls and musubi personally, because that's kind of like what I grew up. Like sort of things that I'm Asian.
Yeah.
I prefer rice over bread.
You don't like bread.
I don't like bread that much. So I'll like always order the like rice balls just to fill myself up with. It's not meant for like, pack a flavor each bite. It's just meant to like if I eat this, I won't need to eat for like a couple hours.
Yeah.
Right?
It is filling. I avoided the rice only parts. I
Yeah.
only ate the tuna.
Which is like nothing at all, which meant that like
Yeah.
you didn't eat anything at all. I'm like, babe, you didn't
Yeah.
eat anything. You need to eat more before you start complaining later.
Yeah. Yeah, he makes sure that I eat enough.
Yeah.
I guess I'm picky or...
You're a picky eater and you don't eat enough.
Yeah.
I consider you a very picky eater.
Yeah.
I will you will eat things that are actually like good for your diet,
Mm-hmm.
and then are good for your like your like food choices and stuff like that. And you're like, no, I don't like it. I don't want to eat it. I'm like, you're already limiting your food choices. You don't have the ability to be picky.
Yeah.
And then we went
and
to,
then we got an udon.
Yeah.
Or udon place.
Yeah, we went to an udon place where they like hand make all the udon.
Yeah.
Like, it tasted really
And
good.
the workers looked really tired.
Yeah, the
They were
workers.
like,
It's kind of like almost like a cafeteria style where you like go to the restaurant, you just pick out what you did, and they like give it to you, and then they give it to you, and then you sit down.
yeah.
I've been to a couple of restaurants like that in Japan too.
Oh, okay. So
Where-
it's a
so it's like-
Japanese style thing.
Yeah, it's like a Japanese style thing.
And I've noticed there's a lot of Filipino workers.
Mm-hmm.
So when we had gone to the Dole plantation, which we'll talk about later, there was like the audio tour.
Yeah.
They talked about how there were Japanese, Korean, Filipino, and even like Puerto Rican workers working at the plantations. So a lot of them moved at that time, I believe.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you hear a lot of like different Asian accents.
I will say that like most of the like a lot of Hawaiian food is like Asian food, really. Right? Like it's like based off of Asian. It's like a combo of like different Asian foods.
Yeah. It's a fusion.
Yeah. And then on Tuesday we went to the Polynesian Cultural Center.
Yeah, that was
which we really liked. It was like it pretty much like it's like a place where they show off a lot of like different things about like Hawaiian culture.
All the Polynesian
like
islands.
All the Polynesian islands and stuff like that. I thought it was really cool and like educational. You learn a lot of the different cultures and stuff. If you don't like educational stuff, I don't recommend it though.
Yeah.
Like I remember
kids get bored easily.
Yeah, I remember going there, and then like we were on the tour, right? And man, those kids were like, there were 2 kids in our tour.
There were 3 technically.
There were 3, yeah. There was one teenage girl.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot about her.
Yeah.
Because the 2 sons were like always like making a fuss or something like that, and I was like, it like had my attention the entire time.
Yeah. You were looking at them like, oh, when I was a kid, I was like them.
Yeah, I was like thinking,
annoying?
I was like thinking, man, this place would suck to go to if I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
But as an adult and who's like really interested in like learning about like other cultures and like other in history and stuff like that, it's like very cool to me, you know.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, and there was this big boat that like students from the university nearby.
The university, that like I think they do that, like they go on the boat and during like the graduation and they make like they do like a whole lap, like do like a whole lap around the island of Oahu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
because when we went to Bishop Museum, we learned about how those boats can be used to go to the different islands in Polynesia.
Yeah.
And using old methods of
like navigation and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's really cool. Yeah, a lot of the like I think Polynesian culture is like super cool.
Yeah.
You know, it's also very bloody.
Yeah.
Like there was a couple events. It's like, oh yeah, like I think it was the Fijian ones where like the Fijians came to each island, right? And I'm like, I think this is like toning down how bloody this actual meetings would have been like back in the old days.
I mean, like, you know, the whole Polynesian Cultural Center is very like sanitized.
Yeah, it's
like, super like everyone's smiling.
I felt like it was like this is so sanitized.
Like,
I was thinking that the entire
like,
time. I was like, oh man, this is made super like rated PG. Like
friendly.
This is rated G.
Yeah, like
it's so rated G.
Even though kids are bored there, I think they like, what is it? Tune it to kids' taste.
Yeah.
Like
very
much.
And they're like, oh, aloha, ohana. Ohana means family, and no one gets left behind. You know, and like it felt for me. It felt kind of cringe. You know, like you kind of cringed at that a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
the tour guide was like,
I applaud her for like keeping it up, you know.
She was studying to be an elementary school
a lot of the employees are students from the university, and actually like a lot of the profits from the Polynesian Cultural Center go to like their education and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh okay, I didn't know that when I like reserved a spot there.
Yeah. And most people joined the tour instead of going it by themselves. Yeah. Which I'm glad we went through the tour.
Yeah.
And at the end of the tour, there's a luau.
Yeah, there's a luau. And
luau, it means like...
It's like a party. It's a big like a feast. It's like a big feast party. Yeah. So there's a lot of food. It was like a buffet. Our luau was like a buffet style.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a lot of good food. They had a whole pig, you
Yeah.
They were really stingy though on giving like pieces of that pig out.
Was there a person?
Yeah, there's a person giving you food.
Okay.
I was like, dang it, I wanted like a big giant chunk of that. But I'm like, okay, fine, whatever.
Did it taste good?
Tastes good, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because they like were making it for 4 hours or whatever. So
yeah, like 8.
Imagine.
It's 8 hours. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like slowly cooked.
Okay.
It's like a whole pig that's like slowly cooked.
And they use like
in a stone oven.
Yeah, and they like show you.
Yeah, they show you
there's
the pig.
like a theater section almost where they do the hula dances.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, it's very like, what is it? It draws you in the dance.
Yeah.
Like with the hip swaying. I feel like it's something that's part of our human brain that's like very attracted to swaying
hips. Yeah.
Mesmerized by it. Anyways. So I didn't know. Okay, so I kind of like saw like Fijians as like dark skinned.
Yeah.
But I thought they were like more Indian kind of dark.
Yeah.
With like straight hair. But it looks like they have
curly hair.
They can pass as like African American. Yeah. Or even like Abasha or whatever. Like they're black.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, hey, they look black.
But then there's also, I don't know if it's the black Fijians who came in and like it was bloody versus if it was the light Fijians who came in later. I think overall
Polynesian culture is just very bloody.
Yeah.
Like I just like look at the like anytime they like this culture, like they brought in a culture and they showed like these are the weapons we used, and I was like, yeah, this.
Oh yeah, and they do a dance with the weapons. And you're like,
yeah.
Okay. Each of those movements is like very bloody.
Yeah. I was like, yo, I remember a kid. I remember one of the boys like said the weapons like they aren't sharp. I was like, they don't need to be buddy. They don't need to be sharp.
It's all about like bludgeoning you.
They just hit you so hard that you'll just die anyways.
Club you to death.
Yeah. Hey, clubbing things to death is also very effective.
Yeah. And yeah, so there was the Fijians, Samoans. The Samoan part was like it was very like suggestive.
Yeah. It was a comedy. There was like a little comedy thing that was funny.
Yeah.
He made a lot of suggestive jokes, which were pretty funny. And then
they made fire.
Which
scratch.
is cool. Yeah, they climbed a coconut tree, and that's like actually really impressive. Just seeing them climb a coconut tree.
And they were like, "Oh, we're going to show you how they like jump between the trees."
And they're like, "Nah." It was a nice swerve though. It was a nice swerve. We saw like other couple different cultures. We saw they also had New Zealand. They also had
Aotearoa.
Yeah. But it was just New Zealanders,
Yeah, and from that section, they look white to me.
Yeah.
Just like big burly white dudes.
Yeah, but like they had
eyes.
Their dances were cool because they had the ball. They had the ball that they like essentially used the other hand to like bounce it off. It reminded me of nunchucks,
Oh yeah, and they also use that as weapons.
Yeah.
I think they translated that into like being used for dancing.
Yeah, for dancing.
Yeah.
Because it practices the same movement, And then like a lot of the games too were like old war games essentially like that. But like anyone could play it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, anyone can play it.
Yeah.
Because I think like the women are also expected like the women didn't fight in the wars, but they're expected to teach like young kids how to fight.
Yeah. I mean, and they're also supposed to defend.
Yeah, defend
the house.
Yeah.
If the men all die or whatever.
Yeah, and then like the whole like using everything like it's cool seeing like the cultures use the like coconut tree, like every bit of the coconut tree, like the palm they use it to like sew like their clothes, their houses. And like there's like the whole like culture of like weaving and stuff like that.
They build houses without nails.
Yeah.
Using the ropes.
And then using it for like cooking and stuff like that. I think with the Samoans, and it was like a joke that they made. It was like, oh yeah, in our culture the guys cook, and then like they're like all the women always laughing with that joke or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And I was like, no other guy here does like a lot of the cooking.
It seems like it's okay. So in my mom's side of the family, I grew up watching my uncle cook.
Yeah.
And none of the women know how to cook.
Yeah.
They still don't.
Yeah.
My mom doesn't know how to cook. My aunt.
Yeah.
Like, and then they were also kind of spoiled as well.
Yeah.
Because like there were always like housemaids, live-in maids who would like cook. So they never had to cook.
Yeah.
But then now you can't afford to hire live-in maids.
Yeah.
They kind of have to cook, but it's horrible. Like that's also
terrible.
why I'm a picky eater, because they don't know how to cook.
Yeah.
And I had to deal with like
really badly made like stuff that like traumatizes you with food.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Like I know because like I had your initial cooking in the past before, right? Or I was like,
and you're like, oh, she doesn't know how to cook.
She does not know how to cook.
I need to cook.
Yeah.
I guess I'm the cook in the
I guess
family.
I'm the cook. I'm the cook here.
So
that was the Polynesian cultural
and then
center.
how about the
Oh yeah, we saw the Breath of Life show, the Breath of Life. It's a cool show, all things considered. There's a lot of production value. It like shows like the story of a kid growing up, and he kind of goes through all the Polynesian cultures and stuff like that. It's just kind of cheesy too. You know?
Yeah.
But it was cool because they ended off with this really cool fire show, you know, and overall, like the experience was a lot of fun.
Yeah. It was educational and fun for adults.
Yeah. And then we drove back. It is also like an hour way drive from from Waikiki Beach. Also just interesting fact is like, man, all the speed limits are a lot slower than like mainland.
45.
Like 45 on the highway.
Yeah.
Right? Which is like wild to me. But the roads felt smaller. They felt like a lot smaller, you know. They didn't have enough.
Yeah. They had narrower lanes.
Yeah.
You don't see a lot of big cars there. Cause so in the West Coast it's 60 miles per hour on the highway. In the East Coast it's faster. It's 70.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And like also the main roads are like 25.
Oh,
which you don't see like outside of like neighborhoods like in our area, you know?
Yeah.
Or like curvy turns or something like
or
that.
like school zones.
Yeah. So yeah, like it was interesting. It's like, oh man, like the driving here is actually like much chiller.
Yeah.
You know?
And when we arrived to the hotel, I noticed the noise levels.
Yeah. I mean, we're also on like Waikiki Beach.
Yeah.
So I think that's why like the noise levels are like crazy loud.
And the sliding doors don't like maybe 1 decibel.
Yeah. But didn't block any sound or anything like that. There's no sound blocking or anything like that. You asked concierge and room service for like earplugs and they're like, how many?
I was like, I thought they were gonna say, oh wait, what do you mean? Or like,
I thought
you would have to buy it or
I
something.
thought that they were gonna say that too, but they were just like, how many do you need? So it's like I think it's something that's like, oh, this is done very often.
Part of not even room service, part of like amenities.
Yeah.
Like it's free.
Yeah.
So it was a resort. So there were different activities part of the
resort.
Hotel.
Yeah. And we didn't really do too many of like the like activities.
There's so many.
There.
I
mean, we don't really want.
There was a spa.
Yeah, there was a spa. We did go to the spa. There's a pool, you know, and there's
there's
like a relaxing area in the sun. You just tan, you know.
And there's musicians that come in on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah.
It sounded really good.
There's a farmers market that's
Mondays
there
and Wednesdays.
Mondays and Wednesdays.
It was really good. Yeah, with the fresh coconut.
I'm a big fan of fresh sugarcane drinks. So it's where you get like a sugarcane. They like put it through like essentially like a a compressor or something like that and squeeze and like it crushes it and then like squeezes out like all the juice.
Nice.
And it's super good. It turns into a drink.
Yeah, it was a Vietnamese woman.
Yeah.
I think it's like a Vietnamese.
It's a Vietnamese, yeah, because it's very like at least because that's what they do in Vietnam too.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this is so good. I've had it at like Vietnamese fairs. And then Wednesday we went to Halewa, but on the way there we went to the Dole Plantation Trap.
Oh yeah, trap. Freudian
slip. It was the Dole Plantation. And it was like it's a very tourist trappy sort of thing. Like there's a train and they like tour you towards like the pineapple farms, right?
Yeah.
But
Your parents said it was nothing though.
Yeah. But I didn't even ask them like beforehand though. But like I was like going there, I was like, I think it was like what $10 to go there. But then there's also like
12?
Yeah, 12. But there's also a really long line.
Yeah. And it comes every 2 hours or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's a maze, but like they're like, oh, but you don't actually see any like pineapples in the maze.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point then?
Yeah. I mean, there was a semi or quasi botanical garden.
Yeah, but I think we're also a little bit off season too, so like nothing's like blooming.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay. I mean, it was still educational. We still got to see like a couple cool things, but it's like we were like, yeah, okay, let's just go.
So they were one part of the audio tour was like, oh, water is very important to Native Hawaiians and they like worship it. And then the next sentence was like, and then the Dole Plantation dammed it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I remember that. No taste or sensitivity. Anyways,
so we went to Halewa, which was it's still kind of touristy. There were tourists there, but it was like it felt more like a real town.
Small town, yeah.
It felt more like a real town.
There were no big buildings, tall buildings.
Yeah, it was just like mostly like local businesses, felt like.
Yeah.
There were some food trucks which were really solid.
It is gentrified.
It is very gentrified though, yeah. I will fully admit that. Because I felt it.
So many white people.
Yeah.
Like, I thought, I kind of had a feeling of like, am I in Edmonds?
Yeah.
Because
it felt very
we went
Edmonds.
to this restaurant after we like went to this like really like, secluded beach.
Yeah, we went to the secluded beach and we like had a fun time there and we went to a restaurant. And I did the thing that I did the opposite of what I usually what I do is I like usually look up a restaurant.
Oh, but we were too tired.
I was too tired.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, let's just go to the first place we
walked a mile.
We walked like a total like 4 miles that day, I think.
Halewa. Oh yeah. Sorry. So we went to the food truck. That was good.
Yeah, that was good. And then we walked across the town from one end of Halewa. We walked to the other end of Halewa.
Yeah.
And that's like 2 miles.
And I have posted the video, like a little clip of it on my Samri Bliss YouTube channel. So you can check that out. But yeah, like it was a long walk. I was wearing a dress and my inner thighs were rubbing against each other.
Yeah.
And it caused like painful rash.
Yeah.
And
to find a bathroom, and once we did, it was like we found a bathroom. We had to go to one of the businesses to give them the key, and we're like, shit. But then the janitor let you.
Yeah.
The janitor let me into the bathroom too. So
yeah, she was like, "Oh, here, let me open it for you." I'm like, "Oh my god, thank you."
Yeah. And then whenever like someone like exits, like another like at least for the women's side, someone like exits and like another woman's like, "Can I get in?" They're like, "Yeah, go get it." Yeah, it's like get in. For the guy side, it was less so of that.
Oh.
Not many guys went to the bathroom.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but I got in and then I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Was it smelly? Oh yeah, it was smelly. Okay.
It was smelly. It was super smelly.
So the Dole Plantation restroom was
that was the worst.
Smelly.
That was actually the worst bathroom
I've been to. It
smells
like old people.
Yeah, it smelled like. Yeah, it smelled
Sorry, I don't want to be ageist.
It smelled like it just smelled a lot like urine. Which,
yeah.
You'd expect that in the bathroom. It just felt like it's so pungent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The humidity mixed in with crap.
Yeah, we did have the ice cream, and I thought the ice cream was good. You thought it was too sweet.
Yeah.
Because it was pineapple ice cream. I was like, it
That's
tasted
true.
really good. Yeah, it tasted really
I
good.
don't know if they added extra sugar to it.
They probably added extra sugar to it too.
Oh my
But it was like really sweet, and I was like, I need this for when it's like a hot day.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, also a fun trip. And then we came back to our room, and then there was a roach in our room.
Oh yes. Halewa. Wednesday evening.
Roach.
I
We tried
wrote
to
down
get
I wrote down notes and we're
Yeah.
reading off of it, but it
Yeah.
says roach.
Yeah, and then yeah.
So I you were still shopping.
Yeah,
right?
I was downstairs because I was like, oh, they have a sugarcane drink, and I wanted to know
Yeah.
what the stores here.
And then I was like, oh, let me drop these off, and then
Yeah.
I took our stuff, and then oh, there's valet, by the way. Like whenever we drove in,
Yeah, we
we
did
got it
ballet.
valeted. Anyways, so I opened the door,
Mm-hmm.
turned the light on,
Mm-hmm.
and then the roach froze. I was like, oh shit. Am I this tired that I'm seeing things now?
Yeah.
Because I was just in disbelief. I'm like, what would a roach... It was huge, okay? It was the size of my palm.
Yeah.
Like, with that
2 inches.
antenna is like the size of my fingers.
Yeah.
And like the center of my palm is like how big and fat it was.
Yeah.
And I freaked out, and I'm like, I was looking at the phone, and it was behind the road. And I'm like, okay. I called it, and I was like standing far away, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, concierge, there's a roach.
Yeah.
And then they didn't sound like they were surprised,
Yeah.
which was like interesting.
Yeah, I think like because the roaches usually come from like outside, so if you leave the door open,
I had
the
left
roaches come-
I opened it, and then I like went live on YouTube or something,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was like, let the breathe come in,
Yeah.
and then we left to
Yeah.
go to Polynesian Center
No.
or wait,
Halewa.
Halewa.
Yeah.
And then apparently they had sent someone up to catch it, but
They couldn't find it.
they
yeah.
couldn't find it.
And we came back up, and then we're like, well, we'll try to kill it,
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, we closed our like suitcases up, make sure that like nothing came in, right?
I took a shower. When I came out, I think I was naked.
Yeah.
And then I saw it. I was like, shit.
Yeah, it's still here.
Doesn't even give me time to change. Put some panties and a bra on.
Yeah.
Because, like, if we had to call someone right away, I mean, they don't come in right away.
Yeah, they don't come in right away. They take their sweet time.
Sweet time.
But yeah, like we tried to catch it, but the thing like can crawl like behind and underneath like the furniture.
Yeah.
And like the closets and stuff are way too big for me to actually like move or anything
Apparently
like that.
there's like something underneath the closet.
Yeah, it's
Or,
like
on
it's
the
like a
side?
small layer. It's like a layer. It's pretty
Yeah.
much like a small like gap, and like nothing actually can get underneath it except for a cockroach. And like behind the TV stuff, behind behind the TV stand and stuff like that. I'm like, we can't deal with this, and I was like, let's go and change rooms.
Yeah, it came out. You tried to kill it. I think you injured it.
I did injure it,
Crawled
but, like,
into like.
but it
back.
crawled back, and I was like, you know what?
Never mind.
Yeah, I was like, okay, you aren't going to sleep with this
No.
cockroach in this room.
No.
So we gotta go and like. change
It'll
it.
like find its way into my ear or something. It'll like lay its roaches in my ear.
I don't know if that's
That's
actually.
payback.
But we changed rooms. We got a bigger room actually. This
Oh,
is
yeah,
the thing
and
that happens in
higher.
our trips. Like
Yeah.
we tend to like get something happens to our room, and
Yeah.
then like we end up getting an upgrade.
Yeah.
It's happened to like all of our like vacations so far.
2 out of the 3.
Yeah, 2 out of 3s.
Well, both of the resorts.
Yeah, both of the resorts.
Because was the Salish one a resort?
Yeah, it was a resort.
Oh, okay. 2 out of the 3 resorts we've been to
Yeah.
has had something wrong with it.
Yeah.
it was a good thing though, I think.
Yeah, we got an upgrade. It was nice.
Yeah.
And we got a higher room too.
Yeah, on the 34th floor, and there's
Yeah.
like a total of 40 floors.
Yeah, or something like that.
And
It was
we
a
were
good view.
previously on the 12th floor.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Didn't
good
stop the
view
noise.
of the city.
Yeah.
And the beach.
water. Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah, the city lights and stuff.
Mhm.
There was good music.
Yeah.
There was a good singer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then another thing that surprised me about Hawaii is all the reggae music.
Yeah.
Because I would be thinking that like Hawaii is competing.
I would
Be
imagine.
competing with Jamaica.
I would imagine that like their mindset is, man, the tourists can't tell the difference.
The difference.
The difference between the islands. Might as well just like
I mean,
do everything.
Jamaica is not even in the same ocean.
Yeah, but they're like, tourists don't know the difference.
Mm.
You know, like all honesty, I would think the same thing.
Really?
Of like, I don't think tourists would know the difference.
Between the Caribbean islands and Polynesian islands?
Yeah,
Really?
there's a lot of really dumb people out there, babe.
God.
There's a lot of people who don't bother to learn what's outside of their small town.
That's... Yeah,
There are
that's
people
really
who don't.
close-minded.
There are people who don't know the difference between Chinese and Japanese.
Mm.
Right?
Oh, they think it's the same?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I think that's just racist.
Yeah.
Racism.
Yeah. Very much.
Yeah.
And then for people who live there, they probably get that. Like, you probably hear it's like, hey, where's all the reggae music? You know. Like, you know, like something like that.
Yeah, I mean, also the Hawaiians seem to like playing it as well.
Yeah. You know, it sounds good.
Yeah.
And I think Hawaii's is kind of chill too. So like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Because I spoke to my dad about that, and he
Yeah.
was like, yeah, I mean, reggae is international. I'm like,
Yeah.
but... So my dad's Jamaican.
Yeah.
By the way.
I think like you're used to the Ethiopian side, would be like if
Oh,
any
too
other-
proud.
Too proud.
Oh,
for any
yeah,
other-
that's true. That's true. Okay, so like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Other cultures seem to be okay with like mixing different things.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Ethiopians, no.
No.
Oh my
Not at
gosh,
all.
yeah.
I think you're used to like Ethiopian culture, where it's just
Yeah.
like they just don't
Ethnocentric
Yeah.
and very proud and yeah.
don't accept anything else.
Yeah.
Mixing, you know.
Ethiopians, you know,
Because,
the
like-
reason why there's always Ethiopian restaurants
Mhm.
that opens everywhere
Yeah.
is because Ethiopians can't live
Yeah.
without, like, they don't eat Asian food
Yeah. They don't eat any other foods.
or American food.
Yeah. Cause like Hawaiian, like think about like Hawaii. It's a mix.
Mhm.
All like Hawaiian culture is a mix of other cultures.
Mm-hmm.
Like
After-
Japanese, like
Mm-hmm.
not only just like the Polynesian cultures.
Mm-hmm.
There's quite a lot of like Asian cultures in it.
Mm-hmm.
There's American in that too.
Yeah.
So like it's a whole thing of like they just incorporate a bunch of different like things into their own culture.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a big melting pot.
And also something else we noticed, the different kinds of stairs.
Yeah.
The like
Oh man,
the
that's funny.
stairs
It's funny.
from old Asian folks.
East Asia, like yeah, all the stairs we get from like the Chinese and South Korean couples.
Yeah, from like not from Hawaii, but from like visitors.
Yeah,
from
and other tourists, stairs
Yeah.
from other tourists, right?
Yeah.
Because one, I'm also very atypical for an Asian guy too.
Mm.
Like I look very like not. I don't look full Asian, right? I also like have a tattoo, right?
Mm-hmm,
Which isn't very common to see on like Asian people.
Mm.
And so like they're just like, wait, what?
Yeah, when they see us together, they kind of like they
Double.
stare.
Yeah.
Like not even like okay, so in the Seattle area, people look, but they don't like linger. Like they
Yeah.
don't like look at you as you cross the street without like
Yeah.
looking
I mean,
at
they're kinda
something
like,
else, you know?
It's in Seattle. It's like, oh look, oh hey, and then oh huh, and then they kind of like continue on.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Because no one cares.
Yeah, plus it's rude. It's considered
Yeah,
rude
it's considered
in
rude,
the
right?
culture.
Yeah.
But I think in East Asia, okay, I think for each other,
Yeah.
it's considered rude.
Yeah.
Like, for each other, they don't stare at each other.
Mhm.
But if they look at like anyone who's not Asian,
Mhm.
they just stare.
Yeah.
Because maybe they don't think that non-Asians consider rude as
Mhm.
well.
Mhm.
But yeah, so there's the old East Asians.
Yeah, there's the young ones too.
It's the young foreign East Asians. There's white people who I'm guessing are like from the South or whatever. Like they also stare.
Yeah, there's the black.
There's the black couples.
Couples.
There were more black love couples than black men with non-black women couples, and there
were a lot of like black women with non-black men couples too.
Yeah, that part was surprising to me too, because I'm like,
didn't you also say that people smiled at you more when you weren't with me?
Yeah. Okay, so the older black women groups, there were a lot of them.
Yeah.
They're like, look at me walking by myself, and I think they like feel bad for me or something.
They're like, oh, look at our sister. Yeah. She's making it out on her own.
She's not waiting for a man to go on vacation with. And like there were two older black women, and they were like, oh, how are you doing this evening? And I'm like, oh, I'm doing well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, because like we on Thursday, on the next day, like on Thursday, because like we had the whole thing with the cockroach, and like we had just walked like 4 or 5 miles the previous day. I was tired. I was like, I'm just gonna lay on this like beach on this beach bench and just like tan and like sleep. And, like, relax.
Thursday we took it off.
Yeah, like I had a pina colada, and I had a pina colada at like noon. I was like, I'm done. I need to like relax today. Yeah. I think we needed that. I think we needed that. We needed like a day where we just kind of like did nothing.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, because
we went to the spa, right?
Yeah, we went to the spa, yeah, but that wasn't planned or anything like that.
Yeah.
And we didn't have to like travel or anything like that. We were just kind of like, we need to relax, because I think I always feel the need to be like productive in our like vacations, you know? Like I always feel like I need to do something, so like I forget to do nothing. Yeah.
And then one thing I forgot to mention about the rash between like inner thigh.
Yeah.
Good tip, always carry deodorant with you in your purse, and then you can put it on the skin, and it was like there was no rash.
Nice.
Because like the bumps are open wounds, and it's really painful.
Yeah, it's like
so
friction.
Just like put deodorant. It doesn't have to be any brand. Just like something that's like, I don't know what it is about deodorants.
I mean, it's made for the armpits, which do similar things of just rubbing two skin together.
Okay.
So like deodorant helps out with that too.
It moisturizes it.
Yeah.
It keeps it from being an open wound. So that's one tip. Another tip for darker skin folks is to get black girl sunscreen. Get a lot of that. Also sunbum works too.
Yeah. I had my own sunscreen.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
I looked at sports sun blah blah.
Yeah. I saw how much sunscreen you brought, and I was like, I need to bring my own sunscreen, because you're going to need all of that.
Yeah. Because you will need to wear sunscreen every day.
Yeah.
Like the sun burns.
Yeah. We've seen what the people look like who lived in Hawaii for like 50 years and never wore sunscreen. And they're like, their skin is sagging like super hard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's like no elasticity.
Wrinkles.
Yeah, super wrinkly.
Sunspots.
Yeah.
So that was Thursday.
Yep.
The spa, it was nice.
Friday we went out. I went snorkeling in the morning. So I had to wake up. I woke up at like 6 o'clock and like went to snorkeling 7 a.m. Got like the first ride out, because I was like, okay, just if I do the first snorkeling tour, then I'll come back in time to like you being awake, and then we can do stuff together.
Yeah, I mean, I got up. I stayed up after you got up, and I went out.
Okay, but yeah, I was like, just do the morning thing. It was really cool because you saw the day I went to, I think I got really lucky because like the water was super clear.
Okay.
The weather was nice. And like there was no one out there because it was like the first thing in the morning, right? It wasn't too hot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't too hot because it was like early in the morning. So yeah, I got to swim with fishies. I got
Turtles.
I got to see a turtle.
Up
Turtle
close.
got kind of really close, but not too close because of federal restrictions.
But the turtle doesn't know about the restrictions.
Oh, I gotta move away.
The human
The
has
human
to
has
move
to,
away.
yeah, the human has to move away.
Oh, did they tell you?
Yeah,
like,
they
move
told
away?
us that move away.
Oh, okay.
Give them room when they like come up for air.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so there are chickens.
Yeah.
Wild
let me
chickens. Sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, because otherwise you get fined like $10,000.
10,000
Yeah.
US dollars.
Yep, US dollars. And yeah, like
I mean, if you're like purposefully.
yeah, but I think like accidentally they don't want people to do it, so they'll punish you even if you accidentally do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like they want you other people to be careful.
To be
about
careful. Okay.
It. Yeah. They take that stuff seriously too.
Because
right?
they're endangered, right?
They are endangered, yeah. But yeah, it was just cool to see like fishes up close like that. It was like kind of like it was a really cool experience that like I've never experienced before.
Oh, okay. Was it your first time snorkeling?
Yeah, it's my first time snorkeling. Yeah.
Okay.
I've never been to Hawaii before.
Does it require
Swimming
special
skills?
swimming skills?
Not special swimming schools. I'd say that if you're a weak swimmer, you can still go snorkeling because you have like a life vest on. Your snorkeling makes it easier to breathe. And you don't have to be as fit when you're like doing snorkeling, but you still need to know how to swim.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. You still need to know like
when
basics.
you say weak swimmer, you don't mean like beginning swimmer.
No,
like
I mean
beginner.
I
'Cause,
say
like,
beginner swimmer.
I took a few swimming lessons.
Oh, I thought
but-
you'd like never touched the water before.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think
you've done it recently though. Like if you've had like how old were you? Like
in my late 20s.
okay. Well, then you would have been fine actually.
Oh.
Because like I just remember your brother saying that he got traumatized and I assumed that he like never swam before.
Oh,
And
he
I assumed-
has.
Yeah?
We both went swimming, but I was 9, he was 8.
Okay. I mean,
But yeah,
as an adult.
as an adult, I don't think so.
Yeah, yeah.
But I had gone to swimming lessons.
Okay, then you would have been fine. Yeah. You would have been fine. It's actually much easier.
Oh, okay.
It's actually much easier to do snorkeling than it is to
But do you
regular
know, like, did I need to know how to float? Because
No.
I've never swam
swim. No,
in
they
open
give you a life
ocean.
vest. They give you a life vest.
Even for you, you had a life vest on?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
they give everyone a life vest.
Oh, I thought only light swimmers.
No, they give everyone a life vest.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
But you still need to know, like, I would say you still need to know, like, the very like, you know, how to at least kick your feet and move your arms, right?
Oh, okay, okay.
You still need to know how to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
know
actually-
how to do that.
And
I guess.
actually, seawater, actually, it's easier to float in seawater.
Oh, okay.
Because the salt actually helps keep you more buoyant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Were there waves?
Not that I really noticed.
Mm-hmm.
There is a bit of current, but you also have flippers, which makes your kicking a lot faster. Makes your swimming faster.
Was it your first time wearing the flippers?
Not my first time, but I'm not used to using flippers.
What did you use flippers for before?
It was just like I remember going to a like lake thing with my friend, and they had flippers. I don't really like flippers very much, but like I understand that they can make you swim super fast.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, so that helps out. That helps out too. And then like yeah, overall, really fun experience.
Nice.
Let's see. You
The
can
chickens?
also. Oh yeah, and then there's chickens are like squatting everywhere in like Hawaii. They're
There's
just like
wild chickens.
yeah, there's wild chickens, and there's a large amount of like wild chickens in Hawaii.
Do you remember where you learned about the wild chickens?
Google.
Oh, okay. So apparently a hurricane sucked them out from like...
The coops. Well, and then also destroyed a lot of the coops too. So then like the ones that like were still there just kind of like wandered off. And then they essentially mated with like the local wild like fowl, you know, the local wild chickens.
Oh, okay.
And then like just like procreated, and there's like the island's overrun with chickens.
Yeah, because like I was hearing a lot of like cockadoodling,
Yeah.
and I'm like, wait, is it like are they playing sound like music?
Sound effects? No, that's just a wild chicken just being like early morning, hey, sun's up.
already been up though.
Yeah.
And then we went to Pali Lookout, which is super windy. Oh my god.
It's super windy, but the view's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really nice view.
It was kind of scary though.
Yeah.
Like, if you have fear of heights,
yeah,
you'll definitely feel it.
Yeah, but yeah, I think it's cool going up to like those really high places. The wind is like really strong, and there's like a bit of cultural significance to Pali Point too. And it was like an easy thing. You didn't even need to hike.
Yeah. We just drive up.
Yeah, and then we went to Pearl Harbor, and it was Veterans Day too. So
yeah, I didn't know it was Veterans.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, you didn't know.
I didn't know.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I mean, I saw it more like around there, you know?
Okay, before we move on from Pali Point, or Pali Lookout.
Yeah.
So the cultural significance is that it's like
that's
major where
highway.
They did trading between the different
that's the major trade route. It linked South Hawaii to South Oahu to North Oahu.
So
because there's a mountain in the way. There's a mountain in the way that would normally make it really difficult, and it cuts through that instead of having to go around the mountain.
Yeah, apparently a lot of folks died.
Yeah, a lot of folks died like building
road.
it. A lot of folks died like walking, traveling through it because it's a mountain. You can fall off the thing. And they added railings.
Yeah.
Then there's also a big battle that happened there where they tossed the losing army off the cliff.
Yeah, because there was the guy who wanted to unite the Hawaiian Islands.
Yeah. I think King Kamehameha. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it was. I remember. I think someone was mentioning it's like one of the most haunted places in Oahu.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I guess when it comes to like Native Hawaiians.
Yeah.
Because when we went to Pearl Harbor, there's the other side of haunted. Yeah. That island is like very violent. Yeah. Historically.
Yeah. Hawaii's culture in general is like very like bloody and like has a lot of war. Yeah. Actually.
I guess.
Like even before the white person came by, there was a lot of war.
Oh yeah. I mean, anywhere in the world before the white folks came,
there's a lot of war.
Yeah. There's still wars between tribes. Yeah. People hate each other.
And so we went to Pearl Harbor. We went to went through like the exhibits there, and we also went to exhibits. Yeah, the free ones. We were like, I'm tired of paying money to do these things. Yeah. So I was like, let's do the free stuff, you know. And it actually turned out pretty fun. We got lucky, and we also got to go to the Arizona Memorial where the Arizona battleship fell, and stuff. It was a very somber moment. And you got to learn about Pearl Harbor. Yeah,
I thought a few, I used to think that less than 100 people died. Yeah. And I was like, the whole 2 nuclear bombs being dropped was excessive. Yeah. I still think it's excessive, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's war.
It is war, yeah.
But now you understand, it's like, no, a lot of people died,
Yeah.
A lot of people died.
It was super interesting. Yeah. Because of the new weapons that the Japanese developed.
Yeah, they made a missile. They made a missile that turned into a torpedo, essentially. Underwater. Like they dump it into the water, and then it turns into a torpedo and attacks from under the water. Yeah. Because a lot of them were like, we aren't expecting torpedo attacks because we're way too close to the docks and we're too far inshore. Oh. Because torpedoes are more effective underwater because they're usually shot by submarines. Oh, okay. And submarines need a lot of water to sink down, right? So they're like, they're too shallow. It's way too shallow for torpedoes to be effective. The way this missile worked is that the airplanes fly close to the water. Yeah. Drop down the thing, and it doesn't go deep enough. It doesn't go deep enough to hit the bottom of the bottom, but it goes deep enough that it can just go in torpedoes and hits the boats from underwater.
Yeah, and apparently there needed to be dwarf submarines that
Like they're made
navigate the torpedoes?
No,
or?
the submarines were there to like take out like anyone who tried to escape.
Oh.
They're there to like take out any like people who try to escape into the like out the water, and it was like the kill center, right?
Why didn't so like the Navy men, like why didn't they just like jump to the shore?
Because the boats were exploding and the oil was in the water. And the oil was on fire, and so that water is on fire. So like you jump in, you're gonna get burned because it's also really hard to swim in oil as well. Because it just like sinks you. Right.
That's dark.
It's so nightmarish, right?
Yeah.
Like when you see like oil spills and you see like all the animals that like die because they like drown, and like it's like instant like how toxic it is too, right?
So the Arizona Memorial, it's like
it's the it's above the sunken battleship.
And then there's like little black dots that come to the surface, and you see it like
rainbow out.
Yeah.
It's like it but that's like bits of oil that are like left over, you know.
There must have been a lot of oil in it if it's still like you know, like little droplets come up.
Yeah.
It was kind of beautiful.
Yeah, and then it's very like somber. Like you didn't like want to like make jokes there or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like,
plus the Navy people were like,
super serious. They are serious.
Do not talk to each other unless it's about the Arizona.
Yeah.
Don't take pictures.
Yeah, I think it's like, you know, the idea is like be respectful. You're at a you're at a graveyard essentially.
Yeah, he was like, this is not the time
for
to take selfies.
Yeah.
And post TikTok.
Yeah. I get it though. Yeah. It's kind of like don't dab in front of grandpa's like grave or something like that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like we learned a lot.
There was the Japanese girl who folded the cranes.
Yes.
And her quote.
I remember her reading her story in elementary school.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't learn about it.
Yeah, but like there's a myth where you fold 1,000 paper cranes and then you can have your wish granted. And she actually unfortunately died before she finished. Yeah. But like other people finished for her essentially.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Like reading about it, I was like,
that's so tragic. Yeah, it's a big tearjerker. Yeah, it's such you want to tear up a bit when you read it, when you read about her.
Cause like the whole
and like her wish was just like, oh, I just want everyone to get along. Yeah,
she's like, spread peace on your wings or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, And then we learned about like the Japanese side of the military or something. Like they volunteer.
Yeah, like, you know, imperialistic Japan during that time.
Oh, no. Like Japanese Americans.
Yeah, Japanese Americans.
They volunteered.
Like, there was quite a lot of volunteers. There's also just like, because like, you know, like I will say like as like a second generation like Asian American, I definitely feel like I connect more with the American side than the Asian side, right?
Oh, okay.
Right. So like and this is like, you know, for the Japanese Americans, they're like probably like third or fourth gen, like at that point, right? They've been there, and then they're like, oh, like we're not like, you know, it's like, oh, you're not American, you're Jap, you know, and it's like that's probably really like insult, you know. I don't like if someone told me that I'm not like American, I'm Vietnamese, I'd be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, because you didn't grow up in Vietnam.
Yeah, I didn't grow up in Vietnam, you know.
You don't even speak Vietnamese.
Yeah, I don't even speak very well. Yeah, exactly. I was like, I don't even speak the language very well. Jeez, what the heck, right?
There's also that aspect of the whole internment camps that made it more chilling or dark for the Japanese
exactly.
Americans.
You essentially got like sent to the mainland, to like a camp.
And they lost all their possessions.
Yeah.
They only had like less than a week to leave, I believe. And I also read about there's a book called Land. And it had a chapter on the internment camps. Yeah. And it was really interesting because like in Bellingham, Washington, they used to grow strawberries. And they were like really good farmers. Like they knew how to cut the trees and like make it tillable and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then once they were sent to the internment camps, like they gave the land not like as passing it to white folks,
Yeah.
but like to take care of it until they
Yeah.
come back, because they thought they were going to like
Yeah.
come back and like
Yeah.
take over and like keep doing their business.
Mm-hmm.
But then the white folks just took it over,
Yeah.
like legally.
Mm-hmm.
The courts allowed them to just
Yeah.
be like, oh yeah, now you're the owner.
Yeah.
The Japanese people are not going to be here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of Japanese Americans lost a lot of wealth.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a huge transfer of wealth.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, like a significant amount of Japanese Americans went to Japan.
Yeah.
Like they moved there.
Yeah.
Because they're like, yeah, like, which makes sense. Like,
Yeah, which makes sense.
You know,
we
like,
saw a lot of Japanese people in
yeah.
Vancouver, so we were like,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
a lot of people went to Canada. Like those
Yeah.
Bellingham farmers probably went to Vancouver.
Yeah, yeah. And it was really good Japanese food too.
Yeah.
And they speak Japanese, and I'm like, this is really interesting.
It's weird because like
Yeah.
all of our Japanese food is like owned by Koreans and like Chinese people.
Oh yeah, here, yeah. Yeah, there's only a few
Japanese
sushi
owned.
restaurants, yeah.
Yeah, and a couple of sushi places where like
Mm-hmm.
okay, like you can feel the difference too. Like when you go to the restaurants, you feel the difference between like Japanese owned versus like
Yeah.
Korean and
The
Chinese.
quality of the food.
The quality of the food, just like kind of the sushi that they serve too. Like usually in the Korean places, it's mostly like rolls and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
And versus the Japanese places, there's much more focus on like nigiri and
And sashimi?
and sashimi and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah. So that part was really interesting to make the connections of like.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then so
We went to we went to like a pretty local like hole in the wall like,
Yeah.
poke place that was pretty good.
rice poke and shave ice.
Yeah, that place is awesome. I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
cool.
like Japanese Americans.
Yeah. And then they were like, you could tell that the people who went there were also locals.
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh yeah, welcome back. You know, like you.
They're like blah blah. Yeah.
Yeah. They had the
Hawaiian accent?
They had the local accent.
Yeah. The shave ice was good.
Yeah, it was pretty
You
good.
liked it.
Yeah, I like the shaved ice.
The poke was good too.
Yeah.
And then I had the spice
Spice bomb.
drops or
Yeah,
something.
spice
Or
bombs.
bomb, and that was good too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Saturday.
We went to Waikiki Aquarium, saw local fish, learned a lot
Yeah.
about coral reefs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we went to Bishop Museum, which that was a big museum. We should have
Yeah.
like I feel like we should have like just been started
Yeah,
the day there and then like
Like
because-
half a day.
yeah
Or
'cause,
like maybe even whole day.
yeah, we should have just spent the whole day there.
Yeah.
Because that is a big museum. There's a lot of like different cultures. There's a planetarium too. We couldn't get tickets to the planetarium though, because it's like first come first serve I think.
Okay.
But yeah, like we could have if we went there earlier. I bet like we could have gotten like planetarium tickets.
Yeah.
And then like we would have saw like the planetarium stuff, which would have been cool.
I love planetariums.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a cool place because you learned about like Hawaii's history. There's like a lot of taxidermy stuff too.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
pretty cool. And then there is Hawaiian history, how they like how the different cultures like navigated it. Very educational. Once again, little kids
Yeah.
would be bored here, I think.
That's true. I mean, there were sections of like where you can like drum.
Yeah.
Oh God, kids. Sorry. I think for kids and traveling, it's exhausting.
Yeah, it is.
Like the parents looked like I just felt bad for all the parents there.
Yeah.
Just like, oh my gosh.
Like all the kids want to do is like swim on the beach.
Like I was already tired just walking around in
Yeah.
museums. And then imagine having kids with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. We also walked to the aquarium too.
Yeah,
and
that's
then walked
true.
back, which is probably 2 mile walk.
Yeah, yeah.
Two or 3
Definitely
mile walk.
didn't help with my back.
Yeah.
Although it's good to move around.
Yeah, it is good to move around. And then Sunday we had to get up at 6 a.m. and leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, because our flight was at our flight was like it was a 9 a.m. like 9-10 a.m. flight, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had the top down again.
Again, and it started raining a little bit.
Yeah.
Didn't rain too hard though, but it was like.
I mean, there was like.
There was some moments of like, oh boy.
I had the windshield wiper on.
Yeah.
And then the top was off though.
Yeah.
And then I like put the side window up because like the water was just like being wiped out and like just like splashing into my face. So like the rain in Hawaii though, like it like evaporates like, from your clothes.
Yeah, like
right
it feels like you're not even wet.
Yeah.
Right. Like Seattle rain that gets you wet, but like Hawaii when it rains, I don't feel like I got wet at all.
You get wet and the water just stays in there forever.
It means just like
it
just
turns
washes
into
away
moss.
Your sweat. It just washes away your sweat. Whatever you've been sweating.
Yeah. Yeah, and then
we got back around like evening.
Yeah, 10 p.m.
Yeah, 10 p.m. and we're just like, oh, it's winter.
Yeah, and you were wearing your shorts.
I was wearing shorts.
Yeah.
Well, I don't regret wearing shorts because like it was hot in like Hawaii and like even like San Francisco, so it was pretty warm throughout.
That's true, San Francisco.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, it was really rather warm everywhere else, so I was fine with wearing shorts.
Yeah, because in Seattle, no matter the temperature outside, or not outside, but like, like no matter the season, at night it's going to be freezing cold.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the Hawaii trip. We talked for an hour 20.
And yeah, I did a bunch of like YouTube lives.
Yep.
At least 2. Because the music was nice.
Yeah. Even though it kept you up.
Yeah. What else? We talked about the different stairs, the interracial couples.
I think we got a good rounded thing of like everything we talked about, everything we know.
Yeah, and the gentrification. I don't think we can move there.
No, it's not a good idea. Like everything's too expensive. Gas is expensive.
Yeah. I mean, unless
we'd have to buy new cars. We'd have to buy new cars too, because like sending our cars here would be expensive.
Oh yeah.
We wouldn't get them until like a lot longer too, because they have to go on a boat.
Oh. Okay.
They don't fly cars, babe, unless you're like super rich.
Oh, so like if you move to Hawaii, you'd want to keep your car?
I don't know. I'd probably just buy a new car.
Yeah.
But like, like it's very touristy,
Yeah. It's kind of sad,
Yeah.
Because I feel like you said that 50% of Hawaiians have
like
moved
native
out.
Hawaiians have like moved out of Hawaii.
Yeah. So it's like, is it even going to be sustainable for their population? Like, are they making enough babies?
I don't know.
Like, I feel like it's just going to be a tourist attraction.
It is.
That doesn't actually have any culture.
Yeah, that's why I feel like there's this. I mean, I think they try, right? The people are there to try. But yeah, most, like, I have a friend who moved out of Hawaii, Like, a lot of Hawaiians move out of Hawaii.
Yeah.
I knew a tattoo artist who, like, was from Hawaii and he just doesn't...
Oh, yeah. There's actually, like, a good number of Hawaiians here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's something, significant to say that Hawaiians moved to Seattle.
Yeah. And also California, too. There are a lot of Hawaiians in California.
So, like, the mainland is more affordable than Hawaii.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure you can't buy a house for, like, less than $3 million or something.
Yeah. Like, I remember, I remember my friend just telling me, it's like, yeah, Hawaii's nice to visit, but probably not the best place to live.
Plus, there's roaches. Oh, big roaches.
You get them everywhere that's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, bugs just like hitch rides everywhere and like.
Apparently, they're Japanese roaches.
Yeah, they're like offshoot from like Japanese roaches. Because they just go on boats and stuff like that. Yeah. You know how good they are at hiding, right?
Yeah.
So they just got like that's how ants get like everywhere too. Like ants like are like the biggest invasive species because humans like go on boats and they just hop a ride on a boat and then like go across and like, oh hey, new home.
Roaches, fleas,
Yep.
rats.
Yep.
And the birds there were pretty like chill.
Yeah. Like usually, like in Seattle, the birds here are just like, oh no, humans, run away.
The humans' anxiety and passive aggressiveness translates to the birds.
And then like the Hawaiian birds are just like chill. They're like, oh hey, what's up? We're gonna just like wait for you to leave, and then you eat your crumbs.
Oh, they just like walk up to you.
Yeah. I nearly thought like one nearly pecked your leg, like was gonna peck at your leg or something.
Oh really? Oh, was that close?
It looked like it. I was like, is it gonna peck your leg? And I thought it did, but you didn't like move or jump or anything like that. I was like, oh, it just pecked near your foot.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So yeah, thanks for sticking around.
Yeah, and see you all later. If you're watching on YouTube, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, hit that bell notification, and see you all later.
Bye.
Bye.